The Xarulians are a sapient, highly advanced species with a complex and sophisticated civilization. They are a peaceful species and have never been known to conflict with any other species in the traditional sense. However, given their unique abilities, this may be a drastic misconception on the part of the galaxy as a whole, as they may move to another membrane, which we would call a different moment in time. Their society is based on cooperation, empathy, and mutual respect. This has allowed them to achieve incredible social engineering and scientific advancement feats, while preserving their individuality and creativity, more so than is typically expected in a species closely matching the insectoid kingdom. Xarulians are predominantly a space-based civilization that is unlikely to inhabit a planetary body unless conditions closely match their particular home planet. As such, their advanced space travel technology is highly envied, and they have developed quantum-scale computing, communications, and greatly enhanced some latent biological ability to manipulate energy on a quantum level via psychic powers. Physically, the Xarulians are an impressive sight. Still, it is essential to understand that they only exist in physical form as they wish to, and are known to adapt their physical form. Their intellect operates to better suit the conditions, even to the point they will emulate a humanoid form and construct these before any interaction. Having precognitive awareness of the upcoming meeting, they will have engineered and hatched the form, grown it to adulthood rapidly, and taken time to study human mannerisms, communication, and social traits to ensure a smoothly diplomatic and peaceful interaction. While they could emulate human form quite closely, they prefer an insectoid head, thorax and abdomen with thin arms, and small translucent wings that function very well in low gravity and a slightly thicker atmosphere. They have long, slender bodies that are covered in iridescent scales that change color depending on their mood. Their limbs are thin and graceful, with 4 fingers and an opposable thumb on each hand, just like a human's. Their heads are elongated and feature large, expressive eyes that can see a wide range of colors, including ultraviolet and infrared. They have a keen sense of hearing and are able to communicate telepathically with one another, as well as manifest minor quantum effects, such as telekinesis via remote virtual particle pairing. Their greatly enhanced natural ability to manipulate energy is the basis of their technological development, and they generally have no need to carry around any sort of basic equipment. The Xarulians are capable of manipulating matter on a quantum level, which allows them to create complex structures and machinery at an incredibly small scale and generate matter or fields of force from zero-point background states. Zero-point energy, ZPE, is the lowest possible energy that a quantum mechanical system may have. Quantum fields constantly fluctuate in their lowest energy state, as described by the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which could be visualized as a slice of the present moving through hyperspace. This present shockwave is not uniform, so from our perspective, as our consciousness rides along it, it appears as tumultuous as a storm-tossed sea. Where waves meet each other, particles form briefly, and as the waves pass, the particles appear to annihilate each other. This is what you would call quantum field theory, except for a woefully incorrect assumption and misunderstanding of how gravity works. The universe can be thought of not as isolated particles, but as continuous fluctuating fields. Matter fields, whose quanta are fermions, i.e. leptons and quarks, and force fields whose quanta are bosons, e.g. photons and gluons, and all these fields have zero-point energy. Now, if that's not complicated enough, wait until I introduce you to sapient photonic nodes and quantum life forms, as well as beings that have radically different perceptions of what it is to exist and observe the membrane from the outside. So they only imagine or remember time itself. They never experience it in the present tense as humans do, or they are experiencing it as a static effect. So the entire species, its history, evolution, exploits, and influence only exist in one infinitesimal moment, foaming into and out of existence, completely outside of linear sapience comprehension. My apologies, one moment, just readjusting my parameters for the current tech level. Xarulians most likely did evolve in an insectoid form, but they have hinted that they retain this physical pattern as an indication of cosmic status, calling themselves the second wave and deferring only to the status of microbial sapients, whom they refer to as the first wave or the founders, as being of higher status than themselves. Obviously, they spend a lot of time not explaining basic things to humans. Due to the Xarulians' quantum abilities, which humans generally call psychic abilities, or even magic somewhat embarrassingly, they are free of the bulk of restraints that a purely biological consciousness has to contend with. So, rather than being restricted to eating particular types of elements and molecular structures, such as humans eating proteins and carbohydrates, water and so on, they can take a convenient chunk of matter and simply transform it into something more suited to whatever physical form they are currently inhabiting. Xarulians, from a human perspective, have absolutely no fear of physical death, regarding it at most as an inconvenience or a rude consequence of a mishap or misunderstanding. Xarulians may be reluctant to discuss this topic with humans out of their sensitivity to human limitations. And while they probably could return a deceased human to life in perfect health, they would not be likely to raise this topic themselves out of respect for a human's sovereign free will and spiritual beliefs. To them, allowing humans to die is considered polite behavior, and they may mask the fact that they are effectively immortal from humans, also out a sense of courtesy extended to a less evolved species. They may simply say something along the lines of, "The details of this can only disturb you, therefore I have not contributed to your understanding at this time." As you may have noticed, their basic references to the past, present, and future seem strange to humans, who are far more linear in their perspective on reality itself. Xarulians also apply ethics to their use of scanning and precognitive techniques, so they will not read the mind or telepathically communicate with another species unless expressly invited to do so, and the other species is thoroughly aware of what the process entails, which means they almost never do this with humans. This can be infuriating to individual humans, of course, who tend to fly off the handle and get very aggressive when confronted by an elder species just flat out refusing to share or allow them to experience advancements that the humans do not realize they are not ready for and could cause them significant harm. You could describe the Xarulian behavior here as like that of a calm and steadfast parent blocking an infant from putting a fork into an electrical outlet, whatever that means. It's kind of futile talking about evolution and biological traits like reproduction, diet, and other physical traits of the Xarulians, as their bodies are constructed by them, just as other species create completely artificial, synthetic physical beings, such as robots and emuloids. The truth is the Xarulians are energy patterns, data carried on a quantum level. When in an incorporeal state, they can manipulate the environment in such a way as to appear as holograms to beings like humans who feel a need to see who they're talking to. But Xarulians are capable of naturally remaining extremely hard for human technology and biology to detect, like ghosts, according to a human's quirky interpretations. Humans quite enjoy seeing Xarulians creating new physical forms, watching with rapt attention as a living egg seems to appear out of nowhere all of a sudden, and then quickly hatch, seeming to disgorge a rampantly mutating insectoid horror. The infant Xarulians pass through many life stages as they grow, with every part of their growth and development overseen and carefully adjusted, where needed to ensure their fate is as favorable as they can. It is very important for humans to understand is the most outrageously offensive thing they can do around Xarulians is to delay or interrupt what they are doing, as the exact moment they do something. From their perspective, it's as critical to any task as they are observing the future outcome of the object or action's full consequences, and that outcome fluctuates as chaotically as quantum foam does. Xarulians have developed advanced technologies that have allowed them to explore and manipulate their surroundings, and they have contributed greatly to our understanding of the universe. They have also had a profound impact on the cultural and artistic world, with their unique manufacturing and artistic styles being admired and imitated by many. An artist who has foreseen that you will observe their work at a specific time and place, and who knows exactly what your state of mind and understanding is. And in the case of true artistic masters, how your reaction to their art will result in specific outcomes for you in the future is something humans can only speculate about and quite justifiably fear. In a similar vein, it is an act of utter futility to get into an argument with a Xarulian, as they already know which way things are and can simply recite your future apology to them even before the argument begins. Humans, from the Xarulian point of view, revel in their linear perspective, which is very weird. End of file.